King of the slick up. Hey, call me Lord of the Chain, God of the wristwatch. Fashion be your movie. I'm
D out of Henny Man versus Bones the Bambino is dropping on the URL TV app tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all in the comments riding on them bitch ass niggas because you know they gonna be in there. Let them know you'll find them, you'll kill them, and you got a superior set of skills to do so. You know what I'm saying? Trappers is up.
Right.
That's what's up.
Right, and they can get taken too.
Philo C 1989, Slizzy and the motherfucker, and we off, man. Let's talk about it, man. Cody went down the other day. It was controversy as usual, but I'm gonna keep it real. It was way less controversy than usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that being said, we all seen it, to the chat, to the panel. Did Cody get it right?
I believe so. After 13 hours of deliberation.
It was only 8.
Shit, was it? Hey, Black was sliding them little songs in, not little songs because they made the big song. Shout out to the battle rappers, but he was sliding them clips in. You know what I mean? He might have been cut because if you notice when he put them in there, it was when a nigga was getting into a monologue or some shit. I think he was cutting niggas monologues off and shit for real.
Yeah, there were a couple times, right, where it seemed like everything was real fractious before the music, and then you come back after the music, and everyone's calmed down a little bit. Everyone's calmed down.
And if that's the case, Black, I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? This nigga sat for at least 10 to 12 hours before, outside of all the preparation, graphics, setup, all that. Sat for 10 hours with these niggas, woke up, edited 10 hours, which has to take more than 10 hours, and then broadcast it live and sat there for 10 hours the next day so you could hear and make sure everything was right.
And even sat there a little bit after it finished to chop it up with the people for about half an hour or so, a good half an hour. He stayed there talking to people after.
Give this nigga, I would say I want to give him some money, but somebody tried that and he gave that away. This nigga deserves a fucking Oscar or a fucking Grammy or some shit, man. I don't know, man. Shout out to Jay Black.
Give him an EGOT.
With that being said, though, Spiff said Cody got it right. Did you want to expand on that?
Nah, I mean, because a lot of the time, I don't be having the time to know everything that's going on or have everybody's stats within arm's reach and stuff like that. So for me, watching the Cody joint is just catching up on the year for real. So it's a lot of things that was put in perspective for me. A lot of things that made me change my opinion on stuff when certain people was, you know what I'm saying, giving like you said, monologue or whatever on it. And after sitting there pretty much watching the whole jump, because I was at work, 1 through 20, all arguments considered, in my opinion, they got it right. Yeah. So shout out to, like I say, shout out to everything and everybody.
Whatever you did, fix the echo, Henny. Thank you.
You know, it's like how smart as shit. That's all, Jen. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now when you said I think it's too many channels open, I was like, and I figured it out, man. Thank you.
On some science engineering shit.
Jay Schmo telling the panel that Swamp had 7 chokes last year was a haymaker. Nah, see, this is where my problem is, man. This is where my problem is. First of all, shout out to Jay Schmo. Jay Schmo represents what the fuck his name sound like, man. A battle rap fan that deserves all the credit and is a part of the culture, but he don't represent nobody close to me because nobody close to me would call themselves Jay Schmo. You know what I mean? It's too close to schmuck. Yeah, you see, you know what I'm saying? It's a little tricky, but this is what I would have lended to this conversation, and this is what takes credibility away. I don't like when people take credibility away from people for choking like in smaller situations. Niggas gotta understand, bro. Champion of the year is for champions. Even going to these smaller leagues and battling these people is champion-like activity to me. You know what I mean? I don't like, unless you went in there and shit the bed, did not perform at all or whatever. I don't think that they should be, like, let's keep it real, man. How much do those smaller leagues, not saying that he didn't choke at times when it mattered, but how much do those smaller leagues should really matter when you looking at Swamp? All fairness, you looking at Swamp, who defeated 3 of the 4 people that are ahead of him. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just say, he choked 7 times. Fuck him. Nah,
yeah, and also you got to break down those 7 times. I kind of I do think you can't discount the smaller, like there has to be consistency, has to matter, cleanliness,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
all of that has to matter.
Yes.
It has to factor in. But saying 7 chokes, were they really 7 chokes, or were there some stumbles in you know, was it he choked 7 times? There was 20 seconds, 30 seconds of air in each battle that they're talking about. You it's not, for me, it's not as black and white as, it's not as broad a statement as that. If I was on the panel fighting for Swamp, I'd be like, right, let's break that down. Let's, you know, this is what happened in this battle. This is what happened. And it might, for me, like when you've got 7 battles, and I haven't done the actual maths. I don't know where, but we'll go with this 7 battles where there were issues with cleanliness. That is a lot. That is a lot. It doesn't sound champion like when you just say 7 chokes. But
that's exactly, that's what it needs. It needs context.
It does need some context.
It begs, I beg for context there. You can't just say that and that be the haymaker and the whole room go quiet. With that being said, I think Swamp was fairly placed. But I don't like, come on, man. Like, we ain't had to use that. Like, that was like, oh my God, man, he really fucked. He was really trash. But he's number 5 or 6. Come on, man. Nah.
I was saying this as well earlier. I think it's really difficult, and you would know, Henny, being in that position, that sometimes when you're riding hard for somebody to be in place X, you have to then almost really downplay. You really have to, not downplay, but you really have to debate against other. You have to, you know, if I'm pushing hard.
This is where the problem comes in, though. This is where the problem comes in, then. You're going in there with intent to diminish somebody, because you're going in there with all these facts. Respect to like Bizzo Bond. They had all these facts about Bizzo Bond that's positive, but you got all these facts about Swamp that's negative. Why are you going in there like that? You're going in there. You're now going in there with a preference and an intent.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's just, if I've got my list, right? Because you go in there with your own 20. Right. This is what I believe the list is, and that may adjust as we go on. You bring an argument that makes sense to me, and now I've got my guy who had at 10. He really shouldn't be that high. You don't
get to Swamp choke 7 times that fast without already walking in there.
No, but like someone like me, I'm gonna have that in my notes. I'm gonna have all my for and against points, and when it gets to, I've got Swamp at 7, you want to put him at 4, but in my list, he doesn't deserve to be at 4. So I'm gonna look at my notes and put all my con. I've got my pros and my cons, and I'm gonna highlight Swamp's cons to push why he shouldn't be at 3.
Well, you know
and
what?
Why he should be at 7.
What? You absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And my thing is, like I said, I feel like he was fairly placed as well. So there's no point in me saying all this right here, because I feel like it was fairly placed, but I didn't feel like certain things needed to be said. Or I feel like when certain things needed to be said, it should have been somebody to remind him, like, oh, don't do that. We can have the vote. We can do that. But you can't just throw that out there. Like, it's better. We do this. We've been doing this well over a year. You know what I mean? It's a way to say this to where it don't sound like you just completely shitting on somebody. And I've been in that room, and I've found a way to where battlers never end up coming at me for the way bloggers might have a problem with the way I talk in that room, but battlers don't. You know what I mean? It's just a specific, it's a way to speak to where it's like, okay, show me that you have respect for what this man worked. Because when it's time to talk about the work this man put in, you're not talking. You know what I mean? That's probably where my problem is. But I digress though.
I thought you were wearing your Hogwarts jumper in support of
Bizzo Bond.
I thought you were wearing it in support of Bizzo Bond. I thought that was your silent protest that you didn't make it at 20.
You said this Harry Potter though, right? I thought you was
yeah, because they always joke about us Brits being Harry Potter.
Nah, they were saying that boy looked like Harry Potter though. That's what I thought you was about to say just now. I was about to say, hold on, Jay, hold on. Who was
There's
that?
always a Harry Potter connection, but yeah, no. Shout out to Bizzo Bond.
Shout
I
out to
wanted to
Bizzo
do a
Bond.
show
Yeah,
after
shout out Rizzo.
saying who the F is Bizzo Bond,
And
because that's what everyone was asking. But get to know, man, get to know.
my thing is
Also,
this. My thing is this. I apologize, but I don't want to move off Bizzo.
mm,
Go check out Bizzo Bond versus Tony D. I definitely did that after the fact. You know what I mean? I've definitely been hearing his name all year. I definitely like the points that they made in his. You know what I mean? Like my another problem though was when they said, is Bizzo's material better than Show Off's? And somebody said, hell yeah, a million times better. And I'm like, bro, come on. Like
that's heavily diminishing
yes,
someone so
that whole
unnecessarily.
left side. And respect to Mark, because Mark was just, he kind of was there in the middle, and you know what I mean, he kind of agreed with them, but though M Lang, I fuck with M Lang. But it's a way to what you mean a million times better?
Million
That's
times,
clearly a
yeah.
preference thing. You know what I mean? I think I love them. I love what they presented for Bizzo. They gave great points for him. I was in the comments like, yo, Bizzo deserves to be in the 20. I think that's amazing. That's impact, that's work, that's everything. You know what I mean? But certain ways to say shit, man. Niggas just gotta like it make it seem like you're not respecting the work, man. And this somebody who I've been in that room, I've been in that ring, and now I'm here talking about what I saw the other day, and it's just a better way to talk about the work these guys put in. You know what I mean? I feel like. And I know they respect the culture and don't mean nothing by it. You know what I mean? But it's a way though. It's a way.
No, you're absolutely, because a million times better suggests someone is absolutely trash. Anyone
Yes.
mentioned
Yes.
in
Yeah.
that 20 or in honorable mentions, anyone mentioned in that room yesterday is far from trash. So to say any one of those
It
is a
just
million times better than the other
it
is
shows
unnecessary.
it shows what it does. It shows a super clear bias for the type of style that you're in here to represent. You know what I mean? You're not coming in here with a fair mind at all. And maybe you think the other people aren't, but the other people didn't just do that. You know what I mean? Like Polo is clearly far to the right of the situation. He wants the street niggas to win. And they was clearly all the way to the, it's like, okay, let's meet in the middle somewhere. You know what I mean? Let's meet in the middle. Let's respect all aspects of this shit, man. You know what I mean? Please, and come in here with facts, because Polo, while he represented the street side, and I love the street side, that nigga said that Rosenberg Raw beat Bill Collector. My nigga, Rosenberg Raw know he didn't beat Bill Collector. Come on, man. Everybody know, man. What, like, when you say that, it makes people question your credibility. And you were credible. You was a judge for the fucking the Ultimate Madness and everything. What are you doing, man?
But you know what though? I think that's the job of the panel, man, to get people not only talking about the battlers and their placements, but the people on the panel's perspective as well. So that becomes a whole different conversation. I ain't like how such and such said that. I don't agree with such and such perspective on this, or he one-sided on that side and he one-sided on that side. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say ideal, but it kind of serves its purpose as far as keeping the conversation going on, whether you agree with the list or not,
I don't
or
see.
whether you.
It's a difference between a debate and yelling, bro.
Yeah.
It's a difference between a debate and yelling. See, King Fully said, Henny, would you want to be on the panel next year? I was on the panel the last, I think, 3 years before this year, but I've rapped so
Yeah,
much.
he was on the.
I kind of opted out and shit, and then I, you know what I mean? Like, I would love to be back on the panel after the other day. I just feel I wouldn't take nobody out to replace him, but I would have loved for my voice to be heard. And it's a way to debate without like they're just yelling. They're not hearing each other. You know what I mean? Like the same way me and Jen was just kind of having a disagreement on the Jay Smo situation. And I'm listening and hearing her, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe you right. Maybe it's just this. You got to be able to hear somebody so you can even respond properly, and that don't be getting done in these situations, for real, for real. I think that's why Black was sitting back like annoyed at times.
Yeah.
You
I
there
can
were
sense
some,
that.
yeah, there were some members of the panel who really didn't say much, especially until like later. It was just like, you know what, squabble, have your squabbles, because this is all gonna come out in the wash later. Like, squabble now. Like, it did seem a little like that at times. And I do think like one of the greatest values of having a panel like that is to check your own opinion. Like I said, I go in there with
Yeah.
my list of 20, but I want to test my list. I want to, like, is this actually the best list? And if it's not, I want to debate with Henny. I want to hear what Spiff has to say, because if I'm saying, you know, I want to put forward my argument and hear yours and come to the best understanding, like come to the best answer, come to hear all the arguments. It's essential to hear rather than just to fight your point, because other people have points too, you know?
And I see, the thing is, I don't know if people know that or not. Maybe they go in thinking that, hey, this is a word fight. Like, I'm going to war. No, what we're supposed to do is have an agreed upon top 20 of the year. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to go in here and push our own agendas, our own individual agendas. No, we don't have a stat full of facts, a stat sheet full of facts and shit, so that we can go in there and say what we was going to say and think what we was going to think anyway. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, though, I think we all agree that they got it right in a sense. Maybe this was really a 1A, 1B, 1C situation. You know what I mean? And it could go all the way down to 1E for real, because it was a lot of fucking niggas that deserve this type of credit. So I'm definitely happy Rum Nitty got it, because he's been deserving of it. I would have loved to see Tay Rock get it, because this is the second time I feel like he deserved it. I feel like the first year he deserved it when Overhead got it, and now I feel like he could have got it right here. And then Shotgun Suge, not for nothing, had the best campaign. And for me, like, I think that everything like that factor into it. You know what I mean? Like, when you really want it and you start doing champion-like activity, that's what made me shut shit down. That's what Jen's haymaker was for the Jay Smo situation, when she said that that's not champion-like. That's a fact. That's a fact. No choke is champion-like. So if you choking, that gotta go against you. You know what I mean? But I don't think that small league situations should really go against you, because I think it's champion-like to even go over there and give that person that look. You know what I mean? As long as you performing on that big stage when it's time to as well. So I just thought that should have been acknowledged. But nah, they got it right, man. I like the top 6. I like how they did that. You know what I mean? What I said?
No, it's Bad Money. It's Bad Money in the comments. Salute Bad Money. He says, you can't cry your way into a champion belt.
You can't cry your way into a champion belt.
Yeah.
I don't think
I think he referring to Suge, man. But one thing about it is, he didn't cry his way into it. He did the work. He put in the effort. And 2 of his battles didn't drop and wasn't allowed to get all the credit in the room as well. That's a real bummer. After the fact, once he knew he wasn't going to win, he really didn't do a lot of cry. I expected him to go off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bad Money be right. Bad Money is savage, though, man. He don't give a fuck about nobody, man. This nigga be on Twitter like, who can I fuck with today? What you say? Hey, what you say? Hey,
say that again.
I seen him trying to get Verb to argue with him earlier and shit. Hey, listen, I'm watching, nigga. I see what's going on.
All right.
That nigga Bad Money looking for wreck. Listen, I know a nigga will, but I wish a nigga would, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, man.
Can I say, everyone who was showing love in the comments and saying I should be on the WOTY panel? Yes, I should be, and I should have been on it for the last 2 years. I need to sort out my visa issues. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get into your country. I need to sit on the phone for some days. And if I'd have done that already, maybe I'd have been on the panel this year. But I will get over soon. I appreciate.
That's an excuse, y'all.
Uh-oh.
It's not an excuse. Like, literally anyone right now can go onto the British Visa website and see the issues that I have. You can phone them up and see the telephone games I have to play. I don't know what's going on, but there are things I can do. I can contact my local politician and stuff. I need to do something because I need to get over there. But thank you for everyone suggesting that. I really appreciate it.
Nah, that would be fire though. Even if they
need to phone you in or some shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say stream y'all, Zoom you in or something. Even if they gotta do that.
Nah, you can't do the Zoom thing. You can't do the Zoom thing. I respect the panel way too much. I wouldn't even want to do that. Like, it's a in-person panel. It doesn't work, I don't think, if you've got Zoom. But I would say, yes, the women's GoFundMe will be out soon. Please, please, please support the women. They've been doing bits this year. 2 of them are among the top 20 battlers in the world as per the champion list. You've got a rookie of the year who is a woman who beat out some of the top sensational performers on URL last year. You've got Remy's League doing bits. Like, you've got so much going on with the women's. Like, really, it really shows support and encouragement to, you know, really push that. So let's all support that when that comes along as well. Please.
Shout out Bad Money. He said, I'm just mad I never get credit for the right shit I say up there. But I'm gonna keep it real, Bad Money. You did good this year. You wasn't taking no shit this year. You know what I mean? Listen, my nigga, you was on your Philly shit very heavy, but outside of that, you was like the fact I wasn't there, you was saying some shit there, and I was like, thank God somebody said that. I ain't lying. I ain't lying, bro. Like, for real. I don't know about last year when I was there, nigga. Big Trap was in the build, say now. But you did good this year, though, and I'm keeping that real because I probably said that in a group or some shit, man. You're actually, outside of the Philly shit, because you said Ness, which I agree, Ness deserved a mention, for sure. But it's no coincidence you from Philly. And then you the reason why Easy made it over Suge. I'm gonna just keep that. You definitely the reason he made it. And with that being said, is anybody that didn't make the list, and y'all just one person, anybody who didn't make the list, just to close this segment real quick.
I think probably. I think Rosenberg probably should have got on there.
Rosenberg?
Yeah.
Shout out Froze.
Okay, I respect that. I thought of Show Off as well. He crossed my mind. I don't know how that would play out. For me, KD. KD
That's,
was
another one.
KD had a battle of the year on Bags and Bodies, a battle of the year on Midnight Madness, a battle of the year at his home league with the 2-on-2. All of them touched 100,000. He did work. He did work outside of that. I think that he definitely deserved to.
Shout out KD, man. He was moving.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Spiff, who you think? Anybody?
Outside of me not making the list, I feel like, everybody, that was supposed to be on there was on there. I mean.
Shout out my nigga Bad News too, man, and J2, man. Yeah. J2 deserved an honorable mention. J2, yeah, I feel like Bags and Bodies, and I do feel like Bags and Bodies and Midnight Madness work was kind of looked past. Now Bags and Bodies I can understand because everybody hasn't seen everything. We don't know who won what. You know what I mean? The actual stars of it were working, though. We know J2 was working, Snake Eyes was working, Bad News was working all year. You know what I mean? But Midnight Madness is unignorable. You know what I mean? So I do think that movement deserved more representation in those conversations. But
do you think that was a little recency bias?
Yes, that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think. That's the exact phrase I was thinking during the broadcast. I'm like, yo, like, are they in the room not remembering what that was?
That was huge.
We can't even with recency bias as far as see, the thing is recent. Nobody forgot what Midnight Madness was. Now we just looking back and it's Midnight Madness. But the recency bias is you looking back at Midnight Madness, not thinking of the individuals who put in the actual work in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, definitely 100%, man.
Nah, you know what? Shout out Midnight Madness, Bags and Bodies, and also shout out to them for recognizing. I forget who it was, but somebody said something about the work you was putting in too yourself. The year you was having, the year Henny.
But I got honorable mention though. I'm shouting out all these other niggas. You know what I mean? The dick.
Nah, I mean, sometimes I want to reiterate. Sometimes I want to remix.
I mean, this it's Big Trapezoid. Holla at you. Say nah. Shout out to that too, man. I changed my Twitter name and everything. I was so happy. Like, oh,
that's fire.
Oh. Battle come out tomorrow. We gonna move on, man.
King of the slick top. Hey, call me Lord of the Chain, God of the wristwatch. Fashion be your movie. I'm